A steel squall of gluttonous thrusting shells smashed thunderclaps through clear sky straight at the village, ferocious as a swoop of eagles on a flock of grazing sheep. And when the bloated eddies of smoke had rolled away across the quiet pasture land, the peaceful village by its river was gone, and in its place was only ruin, desolation. The church, amidst the dead of years past, is doomed, but just still standing like a dying horse, its very soul bleeding from the riven stones. Weeping from every dead Louvre in the lurching belfry, that it cannot sound this night a pious death knell for the peaceful village by the river. Their place is still largely in the home. When their men went off to war, after heartbreaking farewells from their loved ones, the women rolled up their sleeves and willingly went to work. As Britain's men headed abroad to fight, the women took their place en masse in the factories, shops, and all the public services across the country, as well as caring for the elderly and their young families. This poem by Jessie Pope, read for you by Maureen, says it all.
Jessie Pope was born in 1868 and was a poet and a journalist. Her war poetry was mostly light-hearted and humorous and was originally published in the Daily Mail. She was an early pioneer of women in the workforce. This one is called War Girls. There's the girl who clicks the ticket for the trains, the girl who speeds the lift from floor to floor. There's the girl who does the milk round in the rain. Strong, sensible and fit, they're out to show their grit. And tackle jobs with energy and knack. No longer caged and pent up, they're going to keep their end up. Till the khaki boys come marching home. There's the motor girl who drives a heavy van. There's the butcher girl who brings your joint of meat. There's the girl who cries, "All fares please," just like a man. And the girl who whistles up the street. Beneath each uniform beats a heart that's soft and warm, though of canny mother wit they show no lack. But a solemn statement this is, they've no time for love and kisses, till the khaki soldier boys come marching back.
known as the Canaries. These girls, who worked in munitions during World War I, were so named because of the effect working with TNT had on them. It turned their skin yellow, which sometimes turned to bright ginger. It could never be washed out and would only wear off in time. These girls worked in extremely dangerous conditions. The guns out there are roaring past. The bullets fly like rain. The aeroplanes are converting. They go and come again. The bombs talk loud. The mines crash out. No trench their might withstand. Who helped them all to do their jobs? The girls with the yellow hands. The boys out there have hands of red. It's German blood and warm. The Germans know what's coming when they see the British swarm. Canadian and British and the men from southern lands. Who helped them all to do their jobs? The girls with the yellow hands. The boys are smiling, though they rush against a barbed trench. The girls are smiling, though destruction hovers over their bench. And when the soldiers sweep along through lines of shattered stands, who helped them all to do their jobs? The girls with the yellow hands.
The following letter was written in March 1917 from Miss Emily Chittox to her fiancé, Private William Martin. Emily comments on delayed letters and trivial problems at home. There seems to be a lack of awareness of conditions at the front and of her fiancé's situation in the trenches. Hardly likely to raise his morale. Does this reflect her naivety? Did censorship of new letters from the front keep people at home in ignorance? Or does it reflect the gulf between Emily's and William's situations? My dearest Will, there is not much news to tell you. I will be so relieved to get a letter from you. I can't help feeling a bit anxious, dear. I know, dear, that you will write as soon as ever you can. But the times seem so dull and weary without any news of you. If only this war was over. Don't think, dear, that I am worrying unnecessarily about you, because I know that God can take care of you wherever you are. I wonder how your cousins are getting on, dear. We are feeling very anxious about George, as no news has come from him yet. There's been a lot of fuss over Arthur this week. He has been trying to get in the army unbeknown to his parents. But Mrs. T thought they ought to be informed about it. He had to go home in hot haste last night. I guess he had a fine old row. Really, Will, I never saw such a bad boy as he is. I don't know if Mrs. T will keep him on or not. He says he has to join up in a fortnight. I don't know whether he will or not. But for my part, I hope he does go. It will be a jolly good riddance, for there is nothing but rows and deceitfulness going on wherever he is. Well, my darling, I don't know much more to say now, so I will close with fondest love and kisses from your loving little girl, Emily. Emily wrote this letter a few days before she heard that William had been killed in action.
For me.
wrote this poem for her fiancé, Roland Layton, shot and killed by a sniper at the age of 20. Perhaps someday the sun will shine again, and I shall see that still the skies are blue, and feel once more I do not live in vain, although bereft of you. Perhaps the golden meadows at my feet will make the sunny hours of spring seem gay, and I shall find the white may blossom sweet, though you've passed away. Perhaps the summer woods will shimmer bright, and crimson roses once again be fair, and autumn harvest fields a rich delight, although you're not there. But though kind time may many joys bring you, there is one greatest joy I shall not know again, because my heart, for loss of you, was broken long ago. Although the war began in 1914, the United States did not join until the 6th of April, 1917. The troops arrived just in time to turn the tide of war in favour of the Allies. Both sides were exhausted and running out of soldiers. The influx of fresh troops helped to boost the morale of the Allies and played a major role in the defeat of the Germans. Initially, the PALS regiments played a huge part in training young American troops. By the end of the war, there were 2 million US troops in France.
Alan Seeger was an American soldier and poet who died at the Battle of the Somme on the 4th of July 1916 while serving in the French Foreign Legion. This poem was a favourite of President John Kennedy. I have a rendezvous with death at some disputed barricade, when spring comes back with rustling shade and apple blossoms fill the air. I have a rendezvous with death, when spring brings back blue days and fair. It may be he shall take my hand and lead me into his dark land, and close my eyes and quench my breath. It may be I shall pass him still. I have a rendezvous with death on some scarred slope of battered hill, when spring comes round again this year and the first meadow flowers appear. God knows 'twere better to be deep, pillowed in silk and scented down, where love throbs out in blissful sleep, pulse nigh to pulse and breath to breath, where hushed awakenings are dear. But I've a rendezvous with death at midnight in some flaming town, when spring trips north again this year, and I to my pledged word am true. I shall not fail that rendezvous.
Was a Canadian poet and a surgeon during the Second Battle of Ypres. He died from pneumonia in 1918 while still on duty and was buried near Boulogne. In Flanders fields, the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row that mark our place. And in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you, from failing hands, we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
I invite you to stand for the last post.
For the Fallen by Lawrence Binion. With proud thanksgiving, a mother for her children, England mourns her dead across the sea. Flesh of her flesh they were, spirit of her spirit, fallen in the cause of the free. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end. Against odds uncounted, they fell with their faces to the foe. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We shall remember them.
I invite you to sing with us, I vow to thee, my country. Vous invite à chanter avec nous, I vow to thee, my country.